Okay, guys, I know I'm really late in doing this, but I'm going to make a video about Yvette Felarca and about her getting arrested and all that kind of thing. When that happened, I was in, I think it was in Florida or Puerto Rico during documenting the hurricane relief. So I missed a big deal. Kind of sad that I missed it, but friends recorded it, some independent journalists got it, and I borrowed their footage, so I've got some footage of it. So anyways, I know you've all seen it, but I just wanted to talk about it. So first of all, I have been asking myself why, if communism is illegal, that's probably making a lot of noise, sorry. So if communism is illegal, as banned in 1954, my understanding is, why is there a Revolutionary Communist Party? Why is there BAM? Why is there a Revolution bookstore? Why is there so many communists at UC Berkeley? Why are they allowed to exist? So I did some looking, and on Wikipedia.
But if any of us are going to have anything but an absolute nightmare for humanity and a lockdown society, we have to come together now and with the values of standing up and saying no to fascism, and saying no to white supremacy, saying no to fascism, and saying that and going into the streets in a sustained way in our millions, and organizing to drive them out of power. So there was a guy over here with his
glasses.
So I'm the president of the Berkeley College Republicans. I personally invited Milo. We've both been on Fox News. I'm glad that we can finally meet. What I want to ask you is, will you condemn unequivocally the violence that has been perpetrated against my organization for the past 6 months? Will you stand up for our right to free speech? Will you join us to ensure that everyone here can feel safe and can express their opinion without having to fear violence perpetrated against them? Will you do that, or will you continue to accept the criminal activity your Soros-funded organization continues to push in Berkeley?
You guys are calling all Trump supporters white supremacists.
Never again.
Okay,
Never again.
That's right. Listen. I want to ask you, are you going to condemn the 59 Tomahawk missiles on Syria, the mother of all bombs on Afghanistan, the nuclear chicken with North Korea and the world? Because I'm sorry, you want to talk about violence? I don't want to hear this. You want to talk? No, I am answering. Jeff Sessions.
That's a loaded question.
Jeff Sessions.
What, you blaming him for Jeff Sessions?
Hold on.
You let her
No, the question was about safety.
I'm sorry.
Get to the question.
I am not going to give you the satisfaction of what you're asking for. I find it absurd. Unless you're going to come out.
So you're against free speech then?
Violence carried out by the state. I feel no responsibility to denounce something that's not being done by a state against an oppressed people.
I'm going to read you a little thing from Wikipedia. It says, Congress passes the Communist Control Act in response to growing anti-communist hysteria in the United States. Though full of ominous language, many found the purpose of the act unclear. In 1954, the Red Scare still raged in the United States, although Senator Joseph McCarthy, the most famous of the Red Hunters in America, had been disgraced earlier in the summer of 1954 when he tried to prove that communists were in the army. Most Americans still believe that communists were at work in their country.
To you, the good people of the city. She comes before you with a solemn heart, shorn of secrets, naked before the eyes of gods and men, to make her walk of atonement.
So Yvette, what's your defense against all the video evidence?
Fighting fascism's not a crime.
Right.
We stand up against racism.
So
This courtroom was
attacking
here for
defenseless
immigrant
people is
rights
not a
today.
crime?
Yes, fighting fascism is not a crime. We will not bow
Obviously
down to
attacking
Nazi
defenseless
violence. We
people
will
is
not
a
bow
crime.
down to Nazi violence.
We will not be silenced by Nazi violence.
Responding to this fear, Congress passed the Communist Control Act of 1954. The act declared that the Communist Party of the United States, purportedly a political party, is in fact an instrumentality of the conspiracy to overthrow the government of the United States. The act went on to charge that the party's role in the agency of a hostile foreign power renders its existence clear and a continuing danger to the security of the United States. The conclusion seemed unescapable. The Communist Party should be outlawed. Indeed, that is what most people at the time believed the Communist Control Act accomplished. A careful reading of the act, however, indicates that the reality was a bit fuzzier. In 1950, Congress passed the Internal Security Act. In many respects, it was merely a version of the Communist Control Act passed 4 years later. It used the same language to condemn communism and the Communist Party of the United States, and established penalties for anyone belonging to a group calling for the violent overthrow of the American government. However, it very specifically noted that mere membership in the Communist Party or affiliated organizations was not in itself sufficient cause for arrest or penalty. The 1954 Act went one step further by removing the rights, privileges, and immunities attendant upon legal bodies created under the jurisdiction of the laws of the United States from the Communist Party. The Communist Control Act made it clear that nothing in this section shall be construed as amending the Internal Security Act of 1950. Thus, while the Communist Control Act may have declared the Communist Party should be outlawed, the act itself did not take a decisive step. So, apparently there's no real laws, and I think that's is evidenced by the fact that it was May 4th or May 8th, I went to UC Berkeley and heard Sansara Taylor, the leader of the Revolutionary Communist Party, speak.
Back up! Slow it down. Slow it down.
Move! No Trump! No KKK! No fascist USA! No Trump! No KKK! No fascist USA!
Sansara Taylor, and basically advocated the overthrow of the government, the violent overthrow of police, and supported attacking Trump supporters. Or even if you didn't support Trump, but if you did not vote for Hillary, you're still going to be held responsible. UC Berkeley was plenty fine with that. So, one more thing I want to, I'm making a ton of noise here, I'm sure. Blaze published an article, and I really don't know much about Blaze, but I just wanted to read a few things in this article. They do quote some court documents, so anyways, the problem, some people think that the problem with Yvette Felarca really stemmed mainly from the June 16th Sacramento rally where she was punching this, I guess, white supremacist or white nationalist. I don't know what he was. I don't care. But she was inciting riots and punching him, and that's not really where it started. It's been around for quite a while. Her problems that she's caused in the district have been around for quite a while. So the title of the article is Militant Public School Teacher Took Students to Antifa Protests, Lied About Absences, Records Show. Yvette Felarca, who is a middle school teacher, is also an outspoken leader of BAM, an arm of the violent self-proclaimed anti-fascist group Antifa.
Evans informed King teachers in our staff meeting that Berkeley Unified School District received a Public Records Act request from an organization called Judicial Watch, which is a racist, immigrant-bashing group connected to the alt-right, specifically Breitbart News and Steve Bannon. They've demanded BUSD gather all documents and email communications between BUSD administrators and between teachers and staff at our school that mention my name, Felarca, BAM, Antifa, or by all means necessary. And when Superintendent Evans informed us that BUSD intended to comply with this, there was uniform anger and distress by all the teachers present. Public employers cannot ask your employees about our political affiliations, our opinions on whether we're Democrats, Republicans, socialists, members of BAM, Antifa, ACLU, Black Lives Matter, or the NRA. Doing so leaves us open to political targeting, which this school district already has a very ugly history of doing. Berkeley Unified should fight this illegal public records request rather than serve up your teachers or staff who have heroically stood up against alt-right harassment, death threats, trolls, and terrorists. And it's time for this district to get things right. We remember what you did last year, not just to me, but to EL students and immigrant students and their parents and families, asking them their immigration status or where their parents were born. We will not accept this. This district needs to reverse your position, stand with the teachers against the racists, not against us and with the alt-right. Thank you.
Yvette Felarca was arrested September 26th during a free speech week on a protest on campus that turned violent. She had a court date Wednesday, but no plea was entered. So that's the title under the image there. So it says, goes on to say, court documents show that the California public school teacher arrested last week at University of Berkeley, California, on suspicion of battery and resisting arrest has since 2009 racked up a list of fire-worthy offenses, including recruiting students to participate in protests facilitated by a militant left-wing group by any means necessary, and transporting students without permission in her personal vehicle. Now, she is transporting minors to rallies that she knows turns violent because she turns them violent. How is that not a fireable offense? Yvette Felarca, known as also Yvonne, which I think is a real name, a Berkeley Unified School District middle school teacher, was arrested, September 26th. She's already under indictment for assault by means of force likely to inflict great bodily injury, riot, and inciting a riot when she was caught on video. We all know that. Screaming, "Get the F off our streets." So, I mean, she's got charges back from like 2009, 2011, 2015. Numerous offenses that people claim are fireable offenses. So why hasn't she been fired? One attorney told me that the school is not going to be able to get rid of her unless one of these charges sticks as a felony. If she is able to plead them down to anything less than a felony, she's going to keep her job. So, I don't know. It's anybody's guess. It says in November of 2013, Felarca was issued a formal NUP, whatever that is, documenting multiple situations where Felarca failed to follow district and school procedures for reporting absences and claimed sick and personal leave to attend political protest. She was cited for insubordinate and antagonistic behavior at the meeting to discuss her attendance issues, dishonesty, insubordination, abuse of district technology, and social media to undermine the administration. The last thing I wanted to say is that in the beginning, when I first started talking to Yvette Felarca, she was very cagey, wouldn't say what she was willing to do or how far she was willing to go to stop the so-called fascists. And then towards the end, she has been very vocal about what she's willing to do, that fighting fascists is not a crime, even attacking unarmed fascists or people she calls fascists is not a crime at all, and she's not shy about saying that on camera, on the news, anything like that. So it kind of shows you how far her delusion has come, and it's anybody's guess how far it will go. So I appreciate you guys watching this kind of long video, and some of it's probably a repeat of what you've already heard, but thanks for watching.